how's it going, everybody? BSG Trek fan here, 88, for part 2 of our, or I should say my overview of my Terminator collection. Seeing how it's part 2 and my favorite movie is Terminator 2, I figured I would go over all my various copies of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I have Terminator 2 Judgment Day on every single format it's been released on. I'm not going to show you all of the VHS releases. I'm only going to show you the things that are unique or things that you might already know about. Terminator 2 Judgment Day came out in 1991, July 3rd if memory serves. And since then it's become a cult phenomenon. Everybody who's seen it agrees that it's one of the greatest films of all time. And if not the best sequel of all time, easily in the top 3. I legit, even though I'm biased toward it, can't think of another sequel. Maybe Aliens, which is another great sequel, but if you really weigh them down, it would be Terminator 2. So we're going to start off with what I think we should start off with. This is the latest release of Terminator 2. This is the Skynet edition. I don't have the money to buy the skull or endoskeleton big set yet. That's probably the last thing I'll buy. Pretty straightforward. It's a Blu-ray disc. I actually have a DVD in here. You can download, bonus content. There's a trivia track. Overall, this is probably the most solid current generation release. There's only been 2, which next is the original. These are dusty. The original Blu-ray release, which was a step up from the DVD, but the overall picture quality and sound quality wasn't amazing. It was better, certainly worthy of buying if you have a Blu-ray player and wanted better picture quality, but it wasn't perfect. It had audio commentary, and it had 2 tracks. It had the Arnold Schwarzenegger. It had the James Cameron and William Wisher audio track, audio commentary, and then it had the original audio commentary, which was like a mishmash of behind-the-scenes actors and technical advisors and people who worked in the film just talking about certain things, which is cool. I'm more of a fan of the director and actor or producer or whatever sit down and watch the movie. A great movie to watch that is a good example of this is either Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead, where literally every single actor and the directors sit down, and there's like 6 different audio commentaries, especially for Hot Fuzz. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so Blu-ray release number 1, okay. If you're going to buy one, obviously buy the Skynet edition, and if you have the money, buy the one with the skull, or the endoskeleton. Next, going down in order of release, we have the Terminator 2 Extreme Edition DVD. This is back when DVD players were kind of pushing their last hurrah before Blu-ray became popular. It came with this tin case which has an endoskeleton on the front and the T2 logo. It's by Artisan. It's a DVD, folks, but it came with a 1080p high definition transfer that you could watch on your computer, a Windows computer, which was big at the time. And I've tried it, and it actually, it is a better picture quality. Again, this is before Blu-ray came out. It also came with a couple of new features, like behind-the-scenes features, and I'm not going to say a bloopers track, but it came with a couple of bonus features. Again, worthy to own, but it's just, let's go off the thing here. Special edition version containing 16 minutes of additional scenes. That's easy. Dolby Digital headphone track, audio commentary, interactive graphic commentary. The disc 2 special features, No Fate But What We Make, the documentary on the evolution of digital effects in its effect in modern filmmaking. That's actually a pretty cool watch. T2 on the set, Skynet combat chassis design. You can construct your own ultimate fighting machine on the computer. That's like 20 minutes at most of fun. It was just another way for them to, I'm not going to say make money, it was just something else that they came out with. I wish that they didn't do it, but whatever. Because this, in my opinion, is the best release period before the latest Blu-ray. This is the Terminator 2 Ultimate Edition DVD. This happens to be the first DVD that I ever owned. And one of the best releases of any movie ever made. I really wish I could show you guys. First of all, it came with this really cool booklet, which at the time was pretty kick-ass. It went over the movie and whatnot. It came with this T2, the Ultimate Edition metal case. It feels like aluminum or steel, with a T2 written on the side. This was the first really big step in T2 being released on the home media market. I can't even really talk about everything that comes with this. It's a double-sided disc. If you bought, like me, the original back in 1999, or nowadays you can buy this and it's a 2-disc set. Now, disc 1 is the movie, the special edition, or the extended special edition. Disc 2 has probably, with the exception of maybe the Aliens, quadrilogy, anthology, has the most bonus features, behind-the-scenes footage, information ever released for a film. Besides all the making of T2 More Than Meets the Eye, the making of T2 3D, the Universal Theme Park ride, teasers and trailers, it has a menu system where you scroll through, and it literally, I did it one time. I sat down one afternoon. It took me 3.5 hours to read through all of the text, the video snippets. If you were to buy one copy of Terminator 2, it wouldn't be the Blu-rays. It wouldn't be what I'm going to show you next. It would be this copy. If you want to learn about the movie and how it was made and what it took to make this, buy this if you can. It's not made anymore, so it's not new and it's not hard to find. It's just not made anymore. It says over 8 hours of content on 6 hours of content on one DVD. That was when I went through it and read everything. I kind of skimmed because I already knew a lot of the stuff. But if you were a brand new fan of the film and wanted to learn about it, I'm willing to bet between all the making of videos and documentaries, it would take you that long to do it. So this is my favorite release. Period. I don't watch it anymore because the disc is actually a little cracked. It still works though. Maybe I'll record some stuff and put it up at some point. But T2, the Ultimate Edition, best version of Terminator 2 as far as I'm concerned.
Hasta la vista, baby. Artisan Home Entertainment brings you the ultimate star in the ultimate action movie with the ultimate technology for the ultimate mind-blowing entertainment experience. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, the ultimate DVD. See and hear this acclaimed science fiction adventure like never before. Own the newest in DVD technology, DVD 18, with a dual layer and double-sided format, compressing over 6 hours of programming onto one disc. Go! With 3 16:9 widescreen, newly remastered digital versions, including the theatrical version, the special edition with 15 additional minutes, and the extended special edition with 5 more minutes of footage never before seen on VHS or DVD.
Fire in the hole!
It's the ultimate DVD with the ultimate sound package for the first time ever. Dolby Digital 5.1 Surround EX with a new sound remix on 7 channels. And DTS 5.1 ES available for the first time on DVD 18. Excellent. Audio commentary from cast and crew, including Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Cameron.
Yes!
3 exclusive documentaries, The Making of T2, T2 More Than Meets the Eye, an exploration of the special edition of the film, and T2 3D, Breaking the Screen Barrier, an exciting look at the creation of the new theme park attraction. And that's not all.
Of course, I'm a Terminator.
With Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the ultimate DVD, you get loads of special DVD ROM features, a web link that will test your skills as a resistance fighter, the entire screenplay, over 700 storyboards, teasers and trailers, and more, all adding up to more than 40 features.
I have detailed files.
T2, the ultimate DVD, comes wrapped in its own new Millennium Limited Edition Special Collector's Case with a special 32-page booklet. Home entertainment has never been this good.
Trust me.
If you own a DVD player, you must own this disc. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the ultimate DVD from Artisan Home Entertainment.
I'm sorry that the camera is so far back. I mean, there really isn't much to these detail-wise, but what I'm going to show you next, I need the camera back that far. Many of you probably haven't heard of this, some of you have. It's a Laserdisc player. It came out in the late 80s, early 90s, kind of like how Blu-ray came out back in 2000-ish, and it was really expensive and no one owned it. And then in the early to mid-90s, Laserdisc came out in full force and became available. Watch a couple Sopranos episodes, it's mentioned there. So we'll start with something that I've always wanted to own for a long time, and it was very expensive, but I found a buyer on eBay who was selling it. This excuse me, this is Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the special edition. And this was the first time that the special edition with the 60 minutes of additional footage was released for the home media market. It was also released on VHS. Being a laser disc, I'll take it out. I don't want to, but I'll take it out for you guys real quick. If you don't know what it is, it's a disc. First of all, before I even get into what a laserdisc is, let's talk about packaging, right? You buy even a Blu-ray disc, right? It comes with the discs, a fucking advertisement for other, movies, and then in this case it came with like a $15 gift card to Sideshow Collectibles, which is actually, it's $15, and the shit on there is like $6 grand, but whatever, every little bit helps. But that's it. It comes with nothing, unless you buy the uber expensive endoskeleton, which is pretty cool, but the packaging and what's on it kind of sucks. The freaking sleeve for the Laserdisc has the logo of the movie on there in its correct form, right? That looks awesome. Inside, well, first of all, this is my favorite poster of Terminator 2. You get the T-1000 looking menacing very faintly behind here, and then you have my favorite rendition of the poster, which is the three main characters and the logo. On the back, more art. It's not even art, it's just like stills photoshopped from the movie, even though Photoshop didn't exist back then. Awesome looking. And then you open it up, and it has all the chapters and information, literally, not just chapter number and name. It talks about what's happening. Look, chapter 24, or 42. Following Terminator's explanation to Sarah and John of the formation of Skynet, this restored scene gives a more in-depth look at Miles Dyson. Okay, so that's talking about the scene where they show Miles Dyson at his home, and his kids show up, and his wife's pissed because they want to take him. He should have taken them to a theme park, but whatever. I mean, it's awesome. Laserdisc art, if you will, I'll call it art just to keep it simple, doesn't exist anymore because the packaging is small and they're trying to keep costs down. This is back when you bought a movie and you put it in your collection proudly. I own a lot of Laserdiscs. When you take it out of its packaging, I really don't want to do this. It literally is just a big disc, right? You can store about up to... Damn, this is kind of dirty, but I'm never going to watch it, so... You can store about 40 minutes at most on one side of these discs. So you put the disc in, you watch 30 to 40 minutes, then you flip it over. They were prone to what's called laser rot, where if you watch the movie over and over again, you'll eventually actually wear the disc down. But I don't know if you can see this. I'll do a close-up shot and insert it after this real quick. But it even has the logo of the film here and all that stuff. This is a predecessor to what you see on DVDs now. The presentation of this is just awesome. And this is what would be considered a bare bones Blu-ray, yeah, Laserdisc. It's just the special edition of the film. Really cool find. They're not rare. Obviously they're not made anymore, but you can still find it on eBay. It's just a question of how much you're going to pay and the quality of the disc. This is okay quality. It's a little dusty, but whatever. The only complaint I have about Laserdiscs is that it's a bitch to put this back into this. Let's just do this. There. Because the sleeve kind of undoes itself. Alright. So that's my Terminator 2 Judgment Day Special Edition Laserdisc. One of my favorite pieces. next we have my first special thing that I bought for Terminator 2 when it came to different copies of it. And this is a Laserdisc again, but it's not the special edition. It's the theatrical run. I actually bought this from a former manager when I worked at a movie theater. He had a huge Laserdisc collection, and oh no, I'm sorry, that's Terminator 1. This actually, funny story about this. I was at the flea market in Hyannis. I forget what it's called. And I'm walking around, and I'm always looking for movies that are old or soundtracks that are hard to find. And I saw this sitting on a table, and I was like, holy shit, no fucking way. Because this is before I had a computer. This is before, I knew a lot of what I know about today, and before I really bought stuff on eBay. So to find something like this was awesome. So you have the standard cover art, which is very similar to the soundtrack. But then you open it. I don't know if you can see it. That's fucking badass. Again, you have the track listings, or the chapters, if you want to call it that. And then you have clips and bits of the film, including pictures, by the way, that I've only ever seen on this, right? And in the back, you have, again, more art. Again, pictures you can't find anywhere else. Really good find. This is the first release on Laserdisc for the movie, and it's a really good find. Not much more to talk about than on the last Laserdisc. It does have the artwork or the information or the logo and whatnot on the disc, so that's pretty cool. Now, something that if you remember when I was talking about the Ultimate Edition, it has more information than anything, including the internet, as far as I'm concerned, on the film. And they had a big picture of all the releases, right? Even some things that I can't find, like Japanese releases and overseas stuff. And there was always this one picture of a big black Laserdisc case that just had the big logo, Terminator 2 Special Edition. And I've always wanted to. I finally found it on eBay a couple years ago, and voila. This is Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the Special Edition. Pretty much the equivalent of the Ultimate Edition for $99. This came out in 1996 or 7, I think. I don't think there's a date on here anyway. But really cool fake leather, but really high quality fake leather. A nice T2 logo here, it stands out. Nothing on the back. On the side, you have the Special Edition. And then there's another box that slides out. You have a really cool, super high resolution picture of Arnold. And then on the back, oh my god, that's the second time I did that. I cut the video and it did it again. Endoskeleton. Okay. I gotta glue that down. What's really cool is that the 3 discs that are in here are tabbed with the Skynet triangle, which is pretty cool in my book. This might be the last time I take this out of the box. It's kind of getting old. So, like before, you have individual discs that are double-sided. I'm not going to take them out because they're the same as in the other Laserdisc I showed you. They're black this time, and they're labeled, of course, triangle. What makes this set the Super Special Edition is that Disc 3, for its time, was revolutionary in bonus features. I mean, I'm going to read you really quickly here. Supplemental section, side 2, side 3, which means that one of the other discs has supplements as 2. Yep. So let's see. It has production logistics, location scouting, research, design, screenplay development, the sets, props, makeup, cinematography, visual effects, sound design, music. I'm willing to bet, because I haven't watched these, that all the cool shit that I read on this DVD is a transfer from this. Only it's going to be more efficient and quicker because it's a DVD. It even has the merchandising catalog and the Guns N' Roses music video, which is actually pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Look up "You Could Be Mine" music video. So this was a really good find. I paid $100 for this, which at the time was the least expensive on eBay. I don't know if they've gone up in price or gone down, but that's what I paid for it. And for my collection, it actually is really cool, and I'm very happy I found it. So I'll put this back in. This I would consider the crown jewel, if you will, of my home release part of my collection. It's the most rare, it's the most expensive, and it's the coolest as far as I'm concerned. So that's all of my releases for Terminator 2 Judgment Day that I'm going to show you. I have... Oh, I got one more. On VHS. I have a couple other VHSs I'm not going to show you. They're just, special edition or theatrical edition, just releases. Every couple of years the companies release the movie again to make a profit and to sell it. This is a special edition. It's a limited edition. Special expanded edition from the Pioneer Laserdisc. Terminator 2 contains over 50 minutes of footage never before seen on video cassette. Again, my favorite version of the poster. Some nice lettering here, the official logo. It's basically the VHS copy of the special edition film with the deleted scenes. It also includes More Than Meets the Eye. Okay, so this is basically a VHS version of Laserdisc, but it's also a really cool find. It's in its original factory sealed plastic wrap because it has this sticker on here. Really cool find. This was also eBay. There was only a couple of them on there at the time. I don't think they're on there anymore. They're really gonna dust this stuff. Really cool find. So that's all my releases that I'm going to show you. Again, I have other copies of the film. They're not on display on my wall because there's just not enough room. So we have the T2 Special Edition, Uber Edition Laserdisc. We have the regular Special Edition Laserdisc. We have the Theatrical Edition Laserdisc. We have the VHS kit. We have the best version ever released, period, the Ultimate Edition DVD. We have the newer Blu-ray disc. We have the Extreme Edition DVD, which I find pointless still. And then we have the original Blu-ray release for the film. I probably have about 7 more copies of the film on VHS and a couple of DVDs. One DVD I did not show you was the first DVD released for Terminator 2. Is that in here? Nope. I don't know where that went. I think I put it in the box by accident. That was the first DVD release. It was literally just the theatrical edition, and that's it. So, yeah. This is BSG Trek Fan 88 here. Just a quick video. I'll be back tomorrow with another video on what I have as my collection. But first, I have to go to orientation for my new post office position. Hopefully I get that. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm back. And I might as well add a little special edition bonus feature to this. Seeing how it's a little bit of a small collection here. At least this part of the collection is small. I've collected the movie, props, or tried to collect props. They're really expensive. Collector's edition, things like that. And I have a couple things here that you technically can't find that many of, but they're still out there. The soundtrack. I'm not going to show it to you, but I have the original release of the Terminator 2 edition, soundtrack, and then the newest one that came out last year, which was remastered. It's different. It's not like, oh my god, I can tell the difference. It's better. Things are more defined. Separation of the left and right audio track is better. Anyway, so I also have. I bought this. I remember like it was yesterday. It was at Circus City. It was 1993. I had a friend over, and I was 5 years old, and I still have it. I don't know if I even knew what it was when I was a kid, but I've always had this in my collection, and I've listened to it once and never again. Well, I shouldn't say that. I listened to it a few times when I was a kid, but recently, like a year ago or two, I finally got a tape deck and listened to it once, and I'm never going to listen to it again, because obviously these are out of print. They're harder to find nowadays, especially cassettes. But you have the cassette, pretty standard, and then you have inside here Terminator 2's logo, which is really cool, and then track listings and all that stuff. And of course the poster is a tall version of the original release poster. Really cool. You can still buy these on eBay and Amazon.com, but it's just nice to have in the collection, at least for the soundtracks. This is actually kind of rare. This is a Guns N' Roses You Could Be Mine single, but it was a special release back then to tie in with the film. So it has the poster and Terminator 2 logo. It was a real release. This isn't a gimmick that was made recently. It was released by Griffin. It features You Could Be Mine and Civil War. So it's obviously a two-sided single. The cassette is in very good condition. I've listened to this a couple of times, but I'm not going to again because the last time I listened to it, the tape almost got eaten. So anyway, Paper cover. I mean, it was literally, you know, this is a single. I mean, those aren't released much anymore, so really good find. I didn't pay much for it either, and I don't see many of these on the internet, so this is another good part of my collection. Something I found on eBay, I don't know if this was ever really popular or not, but this is what's called a picture disc. It's a I know there's probably glare on here, sorry. This is a record that's clear, and it has the poster in the middle. It features You Could Be Mine from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. On the back it has just coming this summer, so obviously this was released maybe beforehand. It's basically a record version of the single on cassette, which is pretty cool. It is really clear. Oh no! Live TV, folks. It's alright. Literally, it's clear. I've listened to this once and never again. Great condition. It's that simple. It's a picture disc. If you look up picture disc on eBay, you'll find a whole bunch of these, but not this particular one. So that's pretty cool. Not much to say about it. I don't know much about picture discs. If you're a slightly older gentleman than me and you're familiar with them, feel free to comment on the video. But I thought this was a really good find. Didn't pay much for it. Now, this I know is kind of fake, as in it wasn't an official release. This is a Terminator 2 Judgment Day LP. Now, the movie came out in '91. The soundtrack was released on cassette and later CD. This was made in India, I think. It says from Serban, USA, but okay, so it was made in USA, but it was obviously released overseas or something. I don't know. It's the soundtrack on LP, on vinyl. Very thin vinyl, probably the cheap stuff. There's different classes of vinyl. If you buy the Dark Knight soundtrack that was released on vinyl back when the movie came out, that's good vinyl. It's thick as anything. I've listened to this, and like every other LP, I will tell you that it sounds better than CD. Now, I don't know how true that is. It might just be me, but that's what I think. Not much to say on the actual LP. In my book, it sounds better. It's an LP copy of the soundtrack. What do you want? On the back, it has a couple pictures, the tracks. There's no special tracks on here. It's the same 1 through 20. Not bad picture art. Again, same as the soundtrack. And those are my copies of the soundtracks. Obviously, I have a digital copy as well, and the other CDs that are up there on the wall that I'm not going to show you. And yeah, that's it. Soundtrack for Terminator 2, at least. See ya.